Quinn, I already told you, I don't know if it's you this week. I have to verify. If it is you this week, then great. We can get you down here to do the lab. But please, for the love of God, stop calling me about your abilities. I love you, girl, but damn, slow the fuck down. Do we know if it's Harley Quinn's turn this week? It is? Fantastic. Get down to the lab right now. It is your turn to show off your abilities. Okay, stop. Stop yelling, please. I'll expect you here in about 15 minutes. Thank you. Bye. Clowns, man. Welcome to another installment of the Ability Almanac, where today we're going to be tackling the clown princess of crime. She really doesn't like it when I call her, when I, bring up the whole Joker thing, but I mean, they were inextricably linked for a long time, so she'll kill me for that later. Harley Quinn is going to get her ability shown off. Looks like she's here already. Hang on a second. Are you... Ow! 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 I'm sorry about that! Ow! Stop it! Ow! Okay! Never using that coin of phrase again! Can I go now? Let's get you into the lab! Ow! Harley Quinn's abilities all revolve around her arsenal, which could rival even Batman in variety, including her needle from Play Doctor, which can be now meter-burned into Joker Infection. This scrambles your opponent's controls instead of causing them to be poisoned. So you could do a basic corner combo here or whatever, meter burn, your opponent tries to respond, they don't do anything, you've got shenanigans for days. They're scrambled as long as you see the pink stars. That is Confetti Cannon right there. Basically a short-range version of the Pop-Pop that does not have a meter burn. But it's interesting because when you blow the opponent back, the reactions are different, and as far as I know, you actually blow them back further than with the Pop-Pop. What this Quinn has right here is Ivy's Blessing, which allows her to heal 60 points of health over a short period of time. Not the best heal in the world, but it's something to keep in mind. He Loves Me, which you may also recognize from from Harley Quinn's old trait, buffs her damage by 25%, which is quite ridiculous, especially since the crazy damage that this woman can have already. Yikes. And yes, you may recognize these from Harley Quinn's old trait, where she has the presents, which are randomized. Now, they are special moves that have their own inputs as gear, because, trait is now the hyenas, which is way better for her. Way better for her, no question about it. This is where things get interesting, because you have two different sorts of cupcake abilities that we're going to get into momentarily. Time to hop out so that I could display them all properly. What we have here is Cherry Bomb, a low version of the overhead cupcake toss. This is a lot easier to land, but as far as I know, it has less range. And it is, of course, a low that knocks down, which is pretty fun for some shenanigans that you can get into with Quinn, stopping wake-ups and the like. With the all-purpose frosting, however, the Cherry Bomb becomes Poison Sweets, a ability that prevents the opponent from jumping or dashing for a pretty sizable period of time. You can still dash and you can still jump around, but your opponent, they're locked down from much of their movement options, as you can hear from the Joker, for quite some time, as long as the pink frosting is out. Time to move on to the next loadout before we have a baking disaster here. I mean, we already do, but that's not the point. This is Tick-Tock, Harley Quinn's only 2-slot ability. It is a lot worse than it was in Injustice 1. It used to be unblockable, do 15% damage, and bounce up the opponent. Now it's mid, and I believe the base damage is actually knocked down to 10 points instead of 15. And it does pop up the opponent, but it's still got its slow-ass startup, so it's not exactly the best ability in the world for 2-slot. And look, you can see you're almost better off using the Cupcake Bomb in that range instead of using the Tick-Tock. Time to move on to the final loadout. Finally, we have the alternate version of the all-purpose frosting, which provides venomous cupcake bombs. These cupcake bombs will now do damage over time upon making contact with the opponent, which allows Harley Quinn to really rain the pain, especially if they don't hit the opponent, because they create a caustic pool that causes damage over time. That's Mollywop, a 68 frame startup attack that when meter burned is unblockable and can be turned into a low. With certain augments on her arms, like the one most commonly found on Rouse the Rabble, a meter burn version of Mollywop will engage in a stage transition. Talk about a home run. Now it's time to move on to the super combo and finally frame data. Now this session of frame data is going to be slightly different than before because of the whole poison sweets thing. With the all-purpose frosting, you almost have to get different frame data for the moves. So, if you see an unexpected fade, it's just to cover Cherry Bomb's frame data. I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, don't forget to be awesome.